I'm Michelle Fields for PJTV, and I'm joined today by author Hannah Sternberg. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about your new book that you have out, Bulfinch.
Oh, well, it's a magical realism novel for readers 14 and up. I'm hoping that it will appeal to both teens and to adults. And it's about a history student whose imagination is so powerful that the night that she's reading about in her book pops out of her head and into real life. So she has to chase him around Baltimore and try and put him back in his book, and things get kind of crazy.
And how did you come up with this idea? What inspired you to write this?
Well, I was in a medieval history class, and I was actually a really terrible student. They almost kicked me out because I skipped so much. So eventually I had to go back into class, and as soon as I started paying attention, I suddenly fell in love with this history and the characters in it. And I started to form this picture in my mind of what it would be like to interact with a medieval knight. And playing with that idea in my head actually helped me attend the class more and pay more attention. So it was a win-win.
And you decided to self-publish. Explain to me why you decided to do that.
Well, Bulfinch has had a long journey to reach readers. It's my second novel and my second published novel, but I wrote it about 5 years ago, and I landed an agent shortly after I sold my first book to a traditional publisher, and she was wonderful and very supportive. She believed in me, and she took me through all the major publishing houses and really pitched this book strongly. But I kept hearing over and over again from editors everywhere, I love the story, I love the characters, I love the writing, it's so unique and special, and I couldn't put it down, but we don't know what shelving category to put it in, so we can't sell it. So those are what I called glowing rejections. And after a certain number of glowing rejections, I decided, if the book's so good, I'm just going to publish it myself.
And explain to us sort of the changing landscape when it comes to publishing. It seems as though there are a lot of people now who are publishing themselves, who have ebooks. How has that sort of empowered the individual and the author?
Well, I think it's a wonderful revolution in publishing, and it's really changing the landscape. It's basically making publishing much of a freer market. It's opening up avenues to people who may never have been able to get out there before, and part of it is technological. The process of print-on-demand publishing has become a lot more cost-effective, so people can do small runs or print-on-demand runs of their books without basically losing all of their profit to the setup costs. And secondly, websites like Amazon and ebook outlets like Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Kobo, Smashwords are creating distribution channels that self-published authors never had access to before. Because in the days before online distribution, online retailing, you had to painstakingly pitch your work to bookstore after bookstore. And in order to reach them, you really had to be a top-of-the-line industry professional who was attending conferences like Book Expo America. You had to be very connected. You have to spend decades in the business to have any kind of selling power, and for a self-published author to do all of that for their own book, you'd never have time to write.
Yeah.
So the print-on-demand technology and the online retailing has really opened up a whole new, much more competitive free market world for authors today.
Wonderful. And where can people find your book and purchase it?
Well, you can find it on Amazon.com. You can get it in Kindle or paperback formats. Currently, I'm offering it on Amazon exclusively, but as the months pass, I'll be spreading it around. So if you're a Nook reader or if you prefer iTunes, never fear, it'll be there too. Or you can always buy the paperback now. Why wait?
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
For PJTV, I'm Michelle Fields. Thanks so much for watching.